I think we're live. Are we live? If we are, welcome to Tradespotting with me, GME, where we talk about Gamestop and Unreasonable and oh, how it's fair and bright, where the handouts grow on bushes and you sleep out every night. Where the boxcars all are empty and the sun shines every day. And the birds and the bees and the cigarette trees, the lemonade springs where the bluebird sings. In Unreasonable Land with Jamie and Tradespotting. So are we live? Quite possibly. Quite possibly we are, Jameson. If so, I don't see it, but I'll have a little look. And in the meantime, if you're waiting for a sound, and I'm waiting for a few more people to arrive, let's play the sound.
It was a slight on my honor, so he deserved it. But we're talking about the most brilliant mind this world has ever seen.
I've got demons running around in my head, and they feed on insecurities I have. Won't you lay your healing hands on my chest? Let your ritual clean. Soak the ropes with your holy water. Tie me down as you read out the words. Set me free from my jealousy. Won't you exercise my mind? Won't you exercise my mind? I want to be free as I'll ever be. Exercise my mind. Help me exercise my mind. Desdemona, won't you liberate me when I'm haunted by your ancient history? Close these green eyes and watch over as I sleep through my darkest of dreams. Be the power to compel me. Hold me closer than anyone before. Set me free from my jealousy. Won't you exercise my mind? Won't you exercise my mind? I want to be free as I'll ever be. Exercise my mind. Help me exercise my mind. I should be thinking about nothing else when I'm with you. Ooh, with you. Ooh, oh, I should be thinking about nothing else when I'm with you. With you.
Your mind exists somewhere altogether different. It lives in a world where feelings simply cannot be defined by words.
Set me free from my jealousy. Won't you exercise my mind? Won't you exercise my mind? I want to be free as I'll ever be. Exercise my mind. Help me exercise my mind. Help me exercise my mind. Won't you exercise my
Have I? Have I got audio? I have now. I have got it. I have my audio back. Congratulations. Hello. Thank you, everybody. It's really appreciated. So I'm back, yes. Brought to you by Unreasonable.shop. The good people at Unreasonable.shop. As you can see, they're showcasing their merch at the top of the chat box. Feel free to take a look at that. None of this would be possible without them. This t-shirt, for example, total bargain. It will get at least an hour or 2 hours worth of work out of me. It's fantastic. Bing bong. I notice and see with the lights, and the chat hasn't cooked it up yet, though. Tradespotting. Meow. Meow space. You're tasing us with your silencico. D. I watch along, but listening is so overrated. Listening is totally overrated. Nobody really needs the listening part. All I'm really going to talk about is how fresh, yeah, so fresh, so clean, so unreasonable TS logo t-shirt. That sounds so good. Love it, Stephen. I do too. I really do love it. And if you could touch this t-shirt, you would love it too. There was a vicious rumor going around that Unreasonable.shop was going to change its name to I Saw You Coming, but not happening. No, it's not happening. It's Unreasonable Shop all the way from here to the moon. That's my promise to you. It'll never, ever, ever be reasonable. Has anyone ever bought the Unreasonable t-shirt? Asks Lady Katie. Well, I'm sitting here wearing this unreasonable ass t-shirt, so somebody's bought it somewhere. No, it's $420. Lady Katie says $420. Why is that a no? That's a dead straight up yes. Should be. Excuse me. There's a bargain. Did you buy it, Rocky? Rocky has it too. Bing bong, the price is grievously incorrect. Excellent, excellent. So everybody's on message now. We can get started. We'll do the TA. We'll get into it. Thank you very much, D, for the support. And the others that came in before, which I didn't notice. Thanks for them. All thousands of them. Geez, there was thousands and thousands. I'm going to have so much porridge. It's brilliant. Thanks. So, yeah, you're all looking at... What are we looking at, actually, as it happens? We've got our RTA was pretty much spot on with this thing. We thought prices were going to come down like this within this wedge on 4-hour time frame. Held below the 50, dropped below the 200, test a horizontal level of support and resistance. This one intersects with an upward sloping diagonal demand line, which I'd put some emphasis on. Sarah says, Tradespotting, thanks for reminding me I have to get up and pee. Love Wet Yourself Wednesday. Yeah, Wet Your Pants Wednesday. They troll on Twitter, and they do. There's others too. Streamlabs. The dot gif caught you. FU. Legend that he is. Check out FU Money's channel there. You just copy his name, post it in YouTube. So find his channel, subscribe to it. You'll get better at trading and using trading tools. Citadel, troll on Twitter and lie. Holy shit, this is cringe. You'll get a Citadel troll in here in a minute. They do like to show up, you know, they do enjoy it, especially when I've tweeted post-Moas, I shall buy the shirt, Jamie. Oh, aye, everyone out here with their post-Moas promises. Aye, I don't put any weight on post-Moas promises. They weigh but grass to my ears. Those promises at the best of times weigh very little. And those particular promises, I put no stock in. Just a check from Trustwire. Just a check from Florida, not Tradespotting. At Tradespotting, not going to wet my pants, lol. What you think. You haven't seen the show yet. Just a check from Florida. You wait and see, right? You wait and see. The bladder weakening awaits. So we talked about this here, right? And like, it was lovely, wasn't it, right? Yeah, it was. It was beautiful. Well done, Jamie. Thanks very much. Out here, saving the day again. No problem. It's all in the day's work, right? So price action. I mean, sure, whatever, right? It could have been slightly more accurate, but I did it ahead of time, right? I.e., before any of it happened. So we're talking about tops. This one, talking about falling down. I did it staying within this formation. You know, you could maybe draw it slightly differently there. Say you're very extended within it now. Whichever way you go about drawing it, you are very extended. Do you get one more thrust down to 169, 170 level? Possible. Does it go on beyond it? Down to the 150s. Well, we drew this line on here. It was up. We're talking about it breaking the 200, or was it when it broke the 50? I can't remember. Anyway, probably would have been here because it fit between the diagonals. So somewhere like that. But does it go on further? You know, does it just take it the same oscillation a little bit further? Quite possibly. I'm not seeing a bullish formation on the RSI. We're not seeing anything particularly good on the DMI, and we've got even worse news on the momentum. So that's what you would expect if you're at the center line of this formation, for it to continue on down. If this was the lower level of this, you might suggest that it would break out to the lower side, and then we'll see what happens. I expect some sort of strong bing bong bounce at this stage should it do that. This is a 4 hour time frame, GME. We're talking about lower levels because we're looking for support, because that's what we do. We like to buy at support, and a lot of us here watching along, or people who tune in for find me for the first time, please hit the like button or think about subscribing, but the like button's appreciated. That algorithm then knows that I'm not a total piece of piss. So you come down here, they're watching along, and got, you know, handouts grow on bushes. You can touch any of these horizontal supports and it would likely be a good buy. This one here, maybe not as violent a reaction. There would be initial touch of this line, likely some sort of reaction right at 169. There would be. I think that might be restrained on its first go, come back, retest it. If that second test, should it drop down at 169 on the second test, is likely to be the one that you spend the least time ruminating about your entry, or being worried about it beforehand, or having to watch it come back and retest it and getting anxious. It's likely there is 2 tests of it on the first occasion at 169. If it gets anywhere near these levels, I expect there to be a violent reaction that takes it a good $25 up, and then a second one that does the same thing, and then perhaps another, and we get to test these higher levels. But I expect that personally, I expect us to get down here, but I don't necessarily see it breaking. Though if it does, I'd see some sort of violent reaction in the 4 hour. That would lead to quite a long, sustained downtrend at that period of time, which within our history of this thing, it would be about right. Some more downside. Considering the levels we're at here, yeah, so let's go up again, see it on daily time frame. What time is it actually? In real life, it is 3 minutes until close. 3 minutes until close, so you're not going to see much news here. The momentum has not slowed down. You're in flux in terms of trend, and you haven't yet touched the top side of the bearish control zone, so continuation likely. Down to the 1 minute, slap it onto auto. Here you've broken your previous mini levels of resistance, support. You've come up here, not broken resistance. Negative formation likely to appear on your moving averages, because this is a failed cross despite it being on the 1 minute. So that's interesting. That's what that is. That's it. It's the GME. We'll quickly look at AMC and then consider it the Busy Apes series. Let's go and check on this. Is the 1 minute. You're at support here. It's gone to our lines again. Will we draw the best lines on 4 hour? You can see that there it is. Broke that one, wicked, now body closing down there, 35.14. It either stops and reverses where it is, or likely like GME continues lower, and you see it at 34.47 on the 1 minute time frame. Does that mean that you go down past this level straight away, or do you hover around it for a bit? Quite possibly. Anyway, these are the lines we draw before. That's what we think is going to happen. That's the Busy Ape, TA, GME, AMC. Bump, bump, bump. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm talking about mostly continuation on AMC, so there's not much to see there other than the horizontals, which I talked about. Now, you could do more TA and talk about why that was likely, but it's likely led by lots of other things, including GME, so you got to talk about what happens here. This is a level where it could turn around. You put in inverted head and shoulders, and it would be in line with this previous support coming up and testing some sort of reaction to that suggestion. Also got this cross on the 1 minute, similar to AMC, that's negative. Are we still on AMC? No, we're on GME. It's AMC, similar. 1 minute. Nope, maybe we weren't on that. Yep, we were. There's a support. There's a one below it. That's what we're talking about, right? Okay, back to GME. Markets are closing. Markets are closing. In about 15 seconds. Oh my goodness, where's it going to go? Well, this is a positive cross, and that test of it might prove to be okay. If we come in, you put in a higher low. This higher low, but I have to be looking at this on 1 minute time frame, don't I think? So 15 minutes. Continuation likely is. I think so. 1 minute. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go, Biggie Boogie. There you go, Biggie Boogie. 175.92. Yeah. Low of the day. 174.61 that we were at just there when we started streaming. So good bully for us. Not high enough. Below support. Not great. Not a positive formation really, but then it's within this higher time frame, you consider this quite a bullish formation. You know, they drew this on, let's do it accurately, right? You could say there's your lower level of things, here's your top level anyway, that's for sure. 1, 2, 3 touches, perhaps more, maybe 5. Here's got 3 on it already, the lowest side of things. Let's take it from that angle. 1, 2, 3, you've got a bit of this left. Let's get this out of the way, piss off for a minute. And then extend this out, extend it out, extend it out, and then say, well, it comes down like a fake out horizontal test, this demand line here catching you, perhaps not, you don't necessarily need it. I mean, where's that drawn on from? This is to illustrate a point anyway, that it's on like, oops, it disappeared. Hey, it disappeared, have you? But it's like quite neat here anyway, now that we've got it here and you've seen all the different lines. They didn't draw these all at the same time. These are the levels below, these are the levels above. If we do drop down, you're looking at 107, 869, below like 150. On top side, you're looking at 200 and change, like 10, whatever, 25 at our previous high, and then Fibonacci extensions and horizontal levels again, up as high as 280. Beyond that, the moves are bigger and your range will be crazier due to the nature of this thing. And the way price action goes when you break out of a pattern, it goes like this, which is like the only reliable topside thing you've got is like this, which goes through body closes on, like you could even flip this up to the weekly, which is what I try and do when I'm making a point about it, and I've already got it there, so I'll just, whoops. Jeez Louise. Get out of the way. Boom. Yeah, so like, this is very bullish formation overall, not just talking about that bullish accumulation wedge that you can sort of see with a little bit of white on the screen there, and then this potential move off the back of it. But within this pennant type formation, if you do break out to the top side, people just go from the previous trend to like continuation. This seems to be the name of the game. And like that's then first replicate the entry move on the outside. And it's a huge range here, right? So whoops, a daisy. This is measured move from maybe inside this here, right? Which is the pennant, and it might be your first horizontal, and getting above that would be where people would get really excited and lots of people jump into the trade. And where would that take you? Well, the measured move from all of it is something ridiculous. Like, you know, stop grabbing the wrong thing. You know, as it's a log chart, right? So if you're just tuning in, I use the log chart, and so logarithmically, the top side of this move is a percentage measurement, right? So the percentage measurement there and the percentage measurement here is not the same as a linear chart. If you just drew that line, took it up, it would be the same length. And anyway, the top side of this is $580, and that would take you up, boom, you know, but against, above your previous high, that breakout, if it came from here, if it was before it there, it would maybe do just above it. And the measured move from inside, that takes you above the closes on the 4 hour and the 2 day and 2 day, and right up to the 3 day body closes. Body closes. Shit, I didn't do the timer. Stupid moi. And it has begun. The timer. The timer, Jamie. Jamie. You know, that's just 2. Jamie, that's just 2. Aye, it is what we're talking about, though I don't know what we're talking about. This is a measured move off of this, and so is the measured move that takes you there, and the continuation you'd expect, and that it's all very, very positive. You know, truth is that why you focus on those things more emotionally when price is at the top side of these sort of formations, because you're like, oh my goodness, you know. Down here, you know, you've got other concerns like how much your partner is annoying you about something, or like, you know, got to change a tire or something, right? That's what's annoying you at this point, because nothing's exciting. But the formation is to your benefit if you use it in order to like manage your own risk in your trades, and that, so it gives you a risk management by defining like where you should not be in trades anymore, and then it also gives you targets where you'll be like, no, you're on the right track and you're thinking the right thing, and which will also allow you to add to your position if you're doing position management and whatnot. And within this formation, the places to buy this are the places where most people aren't tuning into these YouTube videos, where the audience is down, where generally people aren't as happy as they normally would be, and then shut up, and then that's when you know you should buy. It's not like you really need to buy when there's blood in the streets and that. That's not really like, that's cool and all the rest of it. Cool, yeah, and making the best out of volatility is a good way of making bank, but you know, when you're trading something like GME and you're doing what I'm doing and what other people are, we're just okay, every month you get paid, every time you make some money, chuck it in. And then this is the way to do it. These are the areas to buy it at, right? Well, it isn't exciting in that the people who are here in chat are the people who are either learning how to trade or understand that concept, or themselves have just got some money and are trying to do a similar thing, you know, and it's not financial advice. But it is what I just fucking said it is. That's what it is. Right, so what are we looking at here? Anything else? Well, I could do some more AMC. Could do a little bit of that more AMC. This formation, the length of these things here is by no way representative of where I expect price to go. It's just like, you know, measuring trends and whatnot. And this one here in particular isn't even relevant. Whoops, that's the Fibonacci. Let's just automato that tomato. Why don't you auto tomato? Screw you, by the way. Do you want auto down here? Do you? Don't even want to talk to me anymore. Sad tomato. 2618, you've gone beyond it. It's the 3414 you're looking at, and there's 34 and change 16 cents. 34 spot 16. That'd be fucking beautiful entry on AMC. 34 spot 14. And that, but then so with all of these, ultimately, all of these recent levels of support will prove to be quite good for people. And then the targets on this thing, again, just like 886 retraces, 786. You're looking up at around 50, high $50, low $60. And it ain't not crazy. Ain't no crazy. Yo, Electro Boy, how you doing, my friend? In it, Kim, how are you doing? Super, me, or maybe not? Hey, ahoya, ahoya. Sarah, Wolfric, there he is. I'm just here for the fashion tips and dating advice. Aye. Wear Unreasonable.shop merch it and then don't go on dates because you'll not have any money left. None of that AMC peesh. Hey, none of that. Yeah, grr, and stuff. And such, of course it's in such. So that's enough of that looking at. What else do you want to look at? SPY. We'll look at it. We did this measured move. It came back, retraced this. And line here, D was on holiday, so I probably missed a lot of this. These were the important levels. It broke below it. Yep, great, excellent. You get your trade. Got back above it. You've got your next level all marked out. Horizontals, diagonals. It came in right at the exact place. Again, it broke down right at the exact place. This was in this wedge we were talking about, this fake out we talked about at the time, the retrace, the extension on that move, the breakout, the bottom side where it likely go afterwards, all this. We did all this, talked about all this, and it's likely to get another touch of this thing, right? Because it keeps proving itself to be real. So somewhere up around here, 442, 440, perhaps the horizontal at 438. Already got close enough, near enough, not really, because you've got like the x-axis to consider to some extent. It'll probably trace one of these lines back up again, then we'll see. And if it breaks back up into this formation and it breaks above your horizontal at 445, then it'll go up and test your previous level, perhaps its previous high. And this is why the VIX is going mental, which is what Rocky was talking about when he said it there, whenever it was. When was it? The weekend or something. Hi Jamie, thanks for all you do, sir. You're welcome, Eddie. Thank you very much for being here. Member for 5 months. There you go. Gold dust. Not many of you, Maddie. Not many like you. Thanks. Right, so what else? Is there something else we want to do? Let me know. I'm going to go and use the bathroom. Bum, bum, bum. There I disappeared. Diddle-dim, bum. Here comes the noise.
In the first age, in the first battle, when the shadows first lengthened, one stood. He chose the path of perpetual torment. In his ravenous hatred, he found no peace, and with boiling blood, he scoured the umbral plains, seeking vengeance against the Dark Lords who had wronged him. And those that tasted the bite of his sword named him the Doomslayer.
Am I back? Yes, I am. Do I have audio? Yes, I do. Welcome, welcome. So we got one request, CRTD from D. And let's take a look at this. D. Oh, it looks lovely already. Oh, it looks lovely already. And I haven't even seen it yet. Blink? What does that blink mean? It's a blinko. This'll tell me. Dead Man L-Stars would also like some TA on HGEN. Thanks. Oh, you betcha. HGEN. Thanks, D. Thanks, Dead Money. Dead Money. Gotcha. No bother. Gotcha there on Wet Your Pants Wednesday, 29th of September 2021. DH CRTD. It's up 4.6% on the day. 257 was the low, 335 the high. Bling bling, awesome. Bing bong, we got a new member. Yay, welcome Lady Kitty. Big hugs, Lady Kitty, everybody. Thank you so much for subscribing to be a member, becoming a member. Thank you very much, Lady Kitty. We found the link in the description because there was no join button for poor Lady Kitty. So she found the link in the description, which is excellent because it means that perhaps if, as usual and has been tradition in the past, we restrict. What were all those other alerts? JD. JD, I don't understand what. That's a great message. I'll definitely take a look at CEI. CEI. For JD. But you want it before 9:30 or after 10 plus GMT plus 1. I don't understand what that part of the message means. Somebody please explain for me. I am very tired. I don't understand anything, JD. I must apologize. I'm just a poor porridge eater who doesn't get enough sleep. It's true. True story, that. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, the cat doing the bong. He's off his face for sure. Tradespotting. Looks like you're on countdown. Your pad and pencil at the ready. Dun, 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 dun. I was trying to get the countdown sound for the Wheel of Doom, right? I was just like, hey, countdown sound. We'll see how that goes, you know. Don't know yet. Maybe a bit jarring. But it's gone. Haven't they gone and copyrighted their tune there, eh? So I can't use it. So if somebody out there wants to make me a sound effect that'll go with the wheel spinning, and it sounds like, you know, the whole idea of countdown, but not like it because I don't want to get the copyright up the bum-bums, then yeah, thanks. I'm not a cat would have me look at nips again. D out there, D, you're a legend. And these flashes, I love the pink. I'm not a cat, look at me, I can see myself on the screen there, and I can say I am a very poor tired porridge eater. I would not get away with this in my previous life, that's for sure. For sure. I can see also that the timer isn't fitting on the screen. How lovely. Nips, huh? Okay, thanks. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Thank you very much, D. Is it okay to skip a hump on hidden divergence on indicators? GME and MACD 30-minute look like hidden divergence if it's okay to skip a hump. I see what you're saying, right? 30-minute. You'll be talking about the RSI, right? Are you? Skipping a hump. You're going back to this one. Let me read that again. Hidden divergence on the indicators. Right. 30 minutes. Well, it's 30 minutes, right? And it's a downtrend. So the hidden divergence would be on the top side. Right. Here. Skipping a hump. Skipping this one. Going back to these ones. Saying RSI's higher price isn't. 17th, 16th of September, you're on a 30-minute. That's the 29th of September. Well, there's a number of reasons why right, so it's not like nothing's like how do you give the best answer to that question? I think the best way to say it, Stefan, is of all the things that you're looking for, the key to it all is not this divergence or this thing or this next thing. It's that is very interesting 30 minutes though, when you look at it like that on CRTD. I'm not looking at GME, am I? I'm looking at CRTD and looking at that 30-minute move. How funny. I could have done that for a while and given extra TA onto CRTDs, but let's go back to GME briefly before we start this list. And just go GME, 30 minutes. You're looking back here, right? And you're looking at this top side move, skipping a hump. Perhaps these ones. Which one are you talking about? Well, and what were those alerts that just came in? I've got to keep track. D. Some bag holders would like to look at CEI, wondering if you help them carry the load. I say you help them, my lord. Thank you very much, D. Legend. Did we not just do that for? Who was that for? JD put that in. JD. So let's definitely get that in. Also D. And the bag holders. Okay. For the back. One for the bag holders. Certainly will do. Write down D's name again. D. What legend? Thanks very much, D. Everybody. What a legend D is. Freaking goddamn legend, mate. Oh, thanks. Now I like you better because that was nice, Lady Katie. Thanks, Lady Katie, for being nice to people. Hey, I am happy to look at nips for I'm not a cat. Excellent. Excellent. Well, we're all sharing the load then. MACD, not RSI, lol. Hidden divergence. Bah! Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Skip a hump, right? You're not allowed to skip humps, eh? Stephen, you're not allowed to skip humps, eh? Hey, it's hump day. No, Stephen, no. Yes, it's hump day. Hump day every day around here. I don't know what I was acting there, but it was something, and it was brilliant. I should be in a movie. Also add FAM to the list. The people are hungry. FAMI, okay, FAMI. D also wants FAMI. That's quite a funny name. FAMI. I'm nice most of the time. Most of the time is the biggest chunk in it, right? And that's the important bit. Nah, it doesn't count when you're asleep, eh? So that's great, right? Overall, positive, great. Positive balance. Brilliant, Lady Katie, brilliant. Especially if you save it all around these parts. Stefan says, okay, well, no skipping humps, got it, thank you. You know, you can skip at the humps, you can, right? This is the thing, right? No answer is going to be the answer to that exact question that'll completely satisfy you, I suspect. But I love what journey you're on, Stefan. Always brilliant. You're so much you're so advanced compared to what you were when we first talked about this, eh? Asking about hidden divergence and can you skip humps? Humps. You can call them like a thrust, right? Or a move, or a peak. But that works too. I like that hump. I love it, actually. I'm going to use that, in fact. I like it. Humps. The thing to look back on is, well, you're going to have to, like, yeah, sure, but what amount of time can you look back is the first question when you're thinking about looking back across an indicator and trying to work out how long a period of validity can you look to, you know, and you might think to yourself, well, this is fucking crazy. And the more you look into it, the more you'll think that, because the RSI, for example, is based on cycles of the moon, and that's why you shouldn't really use it more than 12. And to MACD, you know, it's not all that different, right? It's definitely not, right? And depending on the way you set it up. Come on, give me my settings, you cheeky. How the fast and slow length of your different moving averages, you know, 12, usually. 12, looking back 12, twice of that is 24. It's not all that different from 26. that sort of period of time, right? So you look back 12 or 24 of these things, and that on a 4 or 30-minute time frame is 12 or 6 hours, so not very long. And that's giving you the highest degree, like the highest robust, like about. So that's just why these indicators are better on bigger time frames, because then you've got like more significant amounts of time to put it through it and say, well, 12 period look back on a daily time frame on RSI gives you a lot more to talk about than it does on a 30-minute one, where the move might just be like not very much has changed, right? So in terms of trading that trend, you might use different indicators. You certainly wouldn't be just using divergence on such a low time frame anyway, because you know it's natural to see divergence there when a move is exceeding its previous trend, and you don't want to be trading against the trend. That would be very bad. So anyway, right, what am I trying to say? Is there divergence on 30 minutes? There's the 30 minutes. This is a downtrend. It's also the same as CRTD in that sense, if it was that what we're looking at the time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, when you're talking about divergence, I know I'm on the RSI again. Where's my MACD gone? I need to move this up or something. Yo, where's your MACD, yo? Yo, where did you just go to? That's annoying. Now you're telling me there's too many. Where is it? It's there. It's fucking there. It is. Sneaky. Yeah, see, you can, like, for example, say this, so, like, it's a 30-minute time frame, eh? So, like, I'm not on the chart, am I? I am, but you guys can't see it. Jimmy. He's gonna find out or fix the shit eventually. Yeah, oh my goodness, look at me. Jeez. Hello, everybody. Hi. Get off this. Oh, that's even worse. Shit. Here we are, small again. I can turn around and actually look at the charts too. Excellent. Not break my neck. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in while I completely mess up all of the things I'm supposed to be doing. Right, yes, here we are. That was a nice move on that in the last 30 minutes of GME. In the end, bullish engulfing candle came in, bullishly engulfing here on your RSI on this 30-minute time frame. You've got a positive cross on your MACD, so you could expect that move to take you at least to your 50-period moving average, perhaps your 200-period moving average, if that doesn't break your horizontals, which it doesn't necessarily in terms of higher highs. It takes you back inside this potential wedge, but then that potential wedge could be drawn 1,010 different ways, right? As I showed you during the Busy Apes section. I'll get around to the next one in a minute. You know, it could just be something like on 30 minutes, it looks way more, something like that. Right, anyway, whatever, right? I can't be bothered drawing those drawings all the time. So, in that sense, right, this is lower low, it's just a higher low in RSI. That's great. You've got a potential pulse across here, but you're within this formation, okay? You've got this positive test of the top side likely now of this formation, whereas that high probably at the 200 at 187 and change. That's likely where your GME goes, 187. A little bit degree of increased volatility within that because it is slightly bigger than you've seen. But it could happen on more than a 30-minute time frame. It could happen over a period of a couple of 4-hour opening closes. So is that what you see? Thursday and Friday, is that where it looks to go to? We'll check the max pain towards the end of the week, but it does change a lot. Like Thursday, Friday is where you'll see a lot of the activity shunted onto there to deliberately change that, I suspect, but how can I prove it? So you've got the lower level of demand here coming in, positive accumulation formation. You've got positive divergence. You've got that here where you would likely buy. We like to buy at support us Doomslayers. It's not financial advice. This is a good entry. You've got your positive cross here, but this is below the 200-period moving average. So the validity of that move won't be sustained until price action like anywhere near above it. That would be and so because there's a horizontal that comes in above that, you can say that this move in and of itself is not the resolution to this formation, though it was likely to take you to the top side. So maybe that isn't as high as that. Maybe it's 183, 182, and you're coming in, your previous body closes in 30 minutes, and you're looking at this mini level of horizontal support and resistance, and that's likely what happens, right? Price action likely gets there, then drops back down again. And this is the entry that you're really looking at, a really good entry. You'll still be below your 200 period moving average on that 30 minutes, so you won't get the entry there. On the hourly, you'll also be, but you have already now open and closed below this previous level of support. What does that mean? YTA on extended hours, you fanny. Is it on? Regular. Sorry, thanks, D. Right, so 179 post-market prices at the minute. 175.92 was the close. That's that bullish move being eaten up by those large liquidity providers who control the price of things. And bing bong, the price is wrong. It's actually, there's fucking loads of demand, hardly anybody's selling it. Are you actually taking the piss now? Get out of town. That is ridiculous. So thank you. And the divergence we're talking about here, skip that hump, go to this one. That's not it. That's the hourly time frame, 30 minutes. May well be that those, come on, isolators, are the same. You're talking about skipping this one, Stefan. This one's lower than this one. Prices have gone lower. Momentum has dropped out, despite the fact that we've broke. I'd say that you're right. You don't have to skip the previous one. I'd say that like prices are lower. Momentum itself isn't as low. It's like isn't the lower side strength as much. You've also got that previous test. Now the cross. You've got this divergence coming through that you're talking about here. Between two, maybe you're talking about skipping all of this and just seeing like this area and then back to here or something. Skip a hump. Best way to ask that question is slightly differently. Anyway, look at this, right? This is what you look at when you look at the MACD. It's a momentum indicator, so you kind of use it slightly differently how you might use others. Anyway, this is a valid way of looking at it. And so, you've got a trend here with regards to momentum, and it's dropping off, as you've met a horizontal level of support. And so this is an entry for a lot of people, myself included. It just would be better to get even more of it down here, right? Like until such time as the next time I get paid, at which stage, depending on where it is, I'll get more and more of it, with the same amount of money, regardless of what price it is. So, and just at the best time on the charts. And that one of them is right now. The next one of it's down here. You have got a degree of a signal here. It's not proven yet until you get back up here, and then likely you get a number of oscillations at these support and resistance lines, which will take price towards the 200 period, at which point you'll then get more flux. You'll get a positive signal in the MACD on this time frame. That divergence will only going to take you back up to the top side of this same formation, no further. You need something else beyond that, and you've got like divergence on your DMI, but at the same time your ADX isn't divergence, not that part of it. And like, yeah, whatever. Looking back, kind of too far. But also, this is the thing when you're talking about divergence, Steph, and anybody who's looking at that now, when you're studying it at the start, the best is to focus on its like ideal and typical examples of it, because there are so many winding avenues and cul-de-sacs for the mind. And first off, focus on the extreme peaks within a reasonable look-back period on MACD or your RSI, and always look for it in oversold or overbought conditions for the perfect comparison. Top tip. Tune into Rocky Outcrop Show for like actually learning all of this stuff in a way that'll help you rather than just deliver. Now, can I wish for TA on AHT happy wet Wednesday at your pant Wednesday? You can do, Borgin. AHT wet your pants Wednesday. Why am I writing that down? I know it's Wet Your Pant Wednesday. Borgin. That's what I should have been writing. Book of Records, though. Can't delete it. And Sarah, tell my brother Oliver, be not afraid. You are entering a good time for me, please. He is brand new. Brand new Oliver. Oliver, I understand what it's like, to be born into that Charles Dickens universe. Like yourself, I am a poor porridge eater, Oliver. And your sister wants me to tell you to be not afraid. But the truth is, you may well be afraid, Oliver. And I don't care. Actually, nobody here cares because we're all afraid, all of us. We're all very, very afraid, Oliver. We're fucking shit in our pants. We pretend we're not, but we are. We've got everything on the line here. We're shit in a brick. At the same time, we're just chilling out, enjoying it. and buying some more of it, and some more of it, and some more of it. Because the charts tell us it's going up, charts are telling us there's no point in being anxious, you know? And the Dalai Lama will tell you the same. He tell you exactly the same, that all you're doing is wasting that energy that you could put in other people, like your sister there, what a lovely person she is. Or something for somebody else. Or something for yourself, innit? But it's Wednesday, so Oliver, we're not only afraid, we're wetting our pants afraid out here. Wetting our pants afraid. And that's great because then when it gets back up over 200 again, and then it breaks 225, well, I'm going to be fucking crying on the stream because I'll be so happy. Mind you, I do that at least a couple of times a week. Welcome, Oliver. Everybody's great. Saying great to see you. A little bit extra leaking out with the excitement. More porridge eating, says Rocky. And he's right. More porridge. If you eat your porridge with salt, what's wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you? Right, so we've got everything I think we can fit on, unless I've missed something, in which case I'll squeeze it in. Otherwise, it is what it is. It is beautiful too. Right. What did we do? We answered a quick question from Mr. Stefan. Write that down there, right? Answered another question for Stefan, who is not a member of the channel. Stefan, still 85 million years later. Jokes. Love you, Stefan. Some of my closest friends aren't members of the channel, in fact. Diarker, there's a DXY is green and the porridge is beige. Here's hoping for better days. Hi, the porridge is beige. I mean, it just had to go and be beige, didn't it? Just fucking had to. Though you can change the color of it, it's still never going to do better than a pastel. Tradespotting, touching cloth and doing tea on the telly. Hey, Jeff Smith. Ding, I'm going to clean my brain with this pencil in a moment. DXY is green. I read that, Jimmy. It was dead funny. Shut up, Jimmy. Okay, thanks for keeping me entertained, D. And everybody else. Weezer, 4 months. Boom. I bought more today and changed my pants 3 times so far. That's good. That's very healthy. I like to hear about it. As well as the fact that you're doing it. I like that you came here and told me. It's really important to me, actually. I'm going to remember that for a long time. Thank you very much. But remember to do regular washes. No recycling these things. I wait for the 1960s buy and hodl. It's a good time to wait for. That's a good time to wait for. No, wait a minute. You're talking about the prices. Oil 169. I know, you know. And then why wait before what? Like then it's like one talking about 151 and that again. In which case, you know, from here on out, that's what you're looking at until such time as you get there. And it's a question of jungle canyon rope bridges, right? You're not going to say like, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, because you might not cross the bridge, right? You will get to it, but you're not going to cross it yet because it might be a piece of shit bridge. And that you could fall down through that big canyon into those horrible pirates. And then they'd, you know, privatize your local services and that, you know, and squeeze out local businesses and then provide a really poor quality of service and destroy the local community. They would, I'm telling you now, they would. So you gotta watch out, no jokes. I heard Unreasonable merch keeps you warm and fuzzy without worry. Oh, it does, Jeff. Oh, warm and fuzzy without worry. That's exactly what it's like. It's fucking excellent. This top, for example, right now that I'm wearing, it's Unreasonable merch. It's so good. Bing bong. That's a bing bong sound effect. Do you get to enjoy it as I do? What did it mean? It means something. What does it mean? Go on, Jimmy. Nope. No idea. It must have been a donation on a place that I can't see here. That's what it'll be. Just a thank you, Drew Soul. Thank you very much. I thank you very much, Drew. Am I on the right camera? No, that's it there. Cheers, Drew. I was looking at it on camera for a while there. Thanks, Drew. And I got to look at the actual charts and do these things that people ask for now. Thanks for you, for Drew. Drew. Thanking you. That's appreciated. Are you going to be here for Friday, Drew? We got a drinking stream on the go. It's going to be mental. Messy, crazy, mental. Of course you're going to be here. What am I talking about? D, have you been injured on the Jungle Canyon rope bridge and it wasn't your fault? That was nobody's fault, man. There's fuck all they could do about it. Splitters, too. Fucking splitters is what it is. Freaking people's front of Judea. Have you... What are we talking about? We were doing TA. We were doing it. We were live on the internet doing technical analysis on some of your favorite stocks. The first one we're going to cover on behalf of D is CRTD. We did make it there briefly. Let's go black and see how it's doing. Oh, yeah. Whoa, it's down at the bottom because I just added it. There you go. Here we are. Move this over. And if you have been injured on a Jungle Canyon rope bridge, just www.bananafreeze.com. Get you sorted right now. Get you sorted. No win, no fee. No fee and no deal. Big fee. Big fee. Great deal. Deal, I'd say. Deal. Great at making deals. Me. Big deal. Big deal me too. Great at making big deals as well. All of those things. Your 50 period moving average, your 200 period moving average. I'm spending time on 50. I've not looked at this before. I'm going to go back up to the weekly. Yeah, that's what you're going to do. And we're on the weekly. Okay, this is lovely. Lovely jubbly. Right? There was this one time at Bandcamp when everybody sold the shit out of it. That's interesting. At that point, no effect on RSI. Couldn't even get your above center line. That was like buys beforehand. For all those people buying, there was someone selling, right? And then afterwards, this was a big sell candle with lots of volume, and that was all people selling in the end, but with another person buying on the other side of it. So all the people that bought it here, they drove the price up, and they also are the same people who drove the price down, right? They didn't buy it in order for it to get up to this high and then look stupid to all their friends and family a couple of weeks later, right? They then sold it. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you, right? Why would somebody push the price up only to get rid of the fucking thing? Why would they do that, right? It's generally, you don't do that with stuff that you really, really love and really, really care about and really, really think is going to be valuable in future, like the exclusive Tradespotting merch, which goes up in price every couple of months. If you haven't noticed that, get used to it. I know. It's so unreasonable. So, yeah, what else have you got? We've got a weekly doji forming at support, right? Let's call it that. You've just got a downtrend. You've got a piece of shit on the weekly time frame, but perhaps this is a good place to enter it at. You've got... I mean, is that... There is potential... Right, okay, look at... Okay, right. No, we'll stick with this for now. Okay, right, okay. Chill out. Suppose you could take either of these. The fact that it did it twice, like, pretty irrelevant. Whoop, started at the wrong end anyway. See, whoop, there it is. Okay, like, we went to your 886. We went beyond it a little bit. No, wait a minute. Is that even your 886? 786, Jimmy. No, it went to 886. I gotta get out of this place. Why is that Fibonacci round the wrong way? That should be the 236. What's going on? Oh no, it's like that. Okay, I gotcha. Jeez. Right. So you went all the way down yesterday, 6. Okay, so that breaks that idea. So maybe there's other ideas, but it's not as good as it might have been. Right, so that's below the 50 period moving average on the weekly time frame. It's a bit of a nightmare. Like your top move took you to your golden pocket. Second one did that again, and your body closes was drastically lower. So a bit of a bearish wick on 2 occasions. This one led to a terrible, awful downtrend, which is a predictable low at 786. This one's done it again. and you've got a doji on it, but you've tested it. This breakout, we'll call that the first validity, right? First point, right? It's only valid after this third touch here, but that is 3. This is your 4th. The fact that it's a doji at the minute, it gives you some hope, but it's like the wick on the top side of that is disastrous. Again, any topside wicks on this have been like heralding doom for it. 3 weeks, 3 days. There's another shitty wick for it, shit for it. Even on the downside, the wicks are bad news. Like, it goes the opposite direction. This thing, if it gets any momentum at all, continues up until it reaches an important level and then breaks down. What's that say? Jamie, can you get it all on one page? Because then you could just see it when it comes in. Bling bling sugars. Lots of blings. What does this mean? White Samurai. White Samurai! Of course, I'll be here Friday for the party when you got a moment. Could you do a quick take on the FAMI? Oh, yes, we've also got FAMI written down earlier, so we're adding a Drew Soul to it. Okay, you betcha, my friend. Thank you very much. We would have done it anyway, and that's very appreciated. Thank you very much, Drew. Interested about Romeo Power, RMOTA. Price took a hit due to market death. Curious on opinion. White Samurai. My opinion is Romeo loved Juliet, but Juliet loved Jamie, but Jamie was a Doomslayer. So on your bike, Juliet, and let's take a look at RMO, Romeo Power. What a love triangle it's turned out to be. RMO. Well, that's the last one there. You got in there at the last moments there, so you did. Sir Samurai, sir. RMO. Boom. Certainly. So here is your 786, which you're still below. You can't get above that. That's why it's doji. Doesn't mean that was a mistake in this previous trend. No, we're on the 3-day time frame here. It's actually not, like, because it's trumped by the fact that it's something, perhaps something else. Nope, it's not yet, and not really with this little wick on the bottom. 2-day, what's it done? Bullish engulfing, but its wick took it to the 50 already, and a failure. It also got back to your golden pocket on this other Fibonacci we drew and failed, which is like the history of this thing. Failure at the 618 constantly. Down to the daily time frame. Came up, touched your golden pocket, closed below the 50 period moving average and below the lower Fibonacci. That's shite, man. What the fuck? Just 50, pushing it down, negative slope on the daily time frame. Nothing to speak of positive on the MACD there. You know, you had a potential, right? But like this wouldn't have touched the trend, you know. So like, judge, like, this might be like, can you know, why Stefan be like, oh, can you skip a hump in that? It's like, well, you can fucking skip it when it's not relevant, like that one there, you know. Like, this is be a relevant thought. Like, that's not relevant. It didn't get to there. And so where does this come in at? Well, if it's lower than here, like, I don't care about this one. Like, it's stupid anyway. And nor did it turn in anything on the top side, this move. Like, it just failed to get up of its previous high. And also the 618 proved important. And now it's below the fucking Fibonacci below it, right? So I'm expecting it to do a full retrace down to 274, 247. And that's not a full retrace, that's just 886. I expected to go to 210 even. Like, that's like what it's saying to you at the minute, eh? I just haven't gone down these timelines. They might do better on lowers or time frames, whatever. 12 hours, obviously, same there. 4 hour. Right, you had that bullish engulfing that we talked about, and was that similar on 2D, was it? No. So on the daily, where was that bullish engulfing? There. Aye. Okay. Open, close, bullish engulfing in the end. And you are actually above that Fibonacci line. Okay. Right. Okay. 50-50 with that wick then. 12. No, it's the same. 4 hour. That's the retest. That's normal if you've done that and test that. And if you go on again and recover the 50, this might be your entry on the top side. Looking at it, $3 and 9 cents. If it opens, closes, opens, and it's still above the 50 and close to it, that's maybe a good entry with a really tight stop. And then you're, 308 to 334. That's a healthy percentage move. And it might get you on an early trade where you could then manage your risk at the same place or move your stop up, and for the actual move that this might take, should it try and go higher, which is presumably why you're interested in it. Something to do with something on these time frames, I expect. Where is it? It's not that. Can't say it's that. Can't say it's that. Maybe it's this. If you has had that completion on this move, where did that come in at? Here, that has been completed a number of times. Definitely. What is it's got your attention on this? Not that. That's brutal. This. But it's gone off and done that already. "30 minutes is like, had the opportunity to stay above that 50 period moving average. It definitely did. It's positive that it's got above this Fibonacci level, but that Fibonacci level itself is like death's door. It's about to have an even more negative picture than it has had recently. That was like based on its slopes. Now its levels and comparative levels aren't great for it. Although DMI momentum, if this is a downtrend, which it is, and this is like increased momentum, which it is, and this is a lower high, which it is, right? That means in the context of a downtrend, they were trying harder to get up and they didn't get it as far, which is like very negative, right? You would say, right? That would be how you I would assess that. Then you're looking between these three previous, like this is going to be so, like, people are just picking these off here on this long in this thing, unless that's everyone taking profits on it and jumping back in lower and laughing their faces off about carrying this all over the place. Then cool, which that might be, right? That might be characteristic of that. Like, the same people have got very used to trading this now. So if you found your kind, that's like, maybe you're making printing money on this. This is still a lower level, 247. So the higher time frames down to the lower time frames, the only thing that you make, like, it may well be that you've had your test above your 200, this is your test of your 50, and you go on, but this doesn't look like these two are about to cross over anytime soon. Price action has been sustained above this level. It's a horizontal, and it's your, but then there's this below it. And then for some reason I've got other lines on here. And that's, if it's below the center line there, having tried to get up here and then put in like a good enough attempt, which could have kept going, and instead it's dropped out of the bullish control zone, lost its own moving average, and then lost the center line on like essentially the first attempt, and it's going on down straight back to the bearish control zone. It's like you'll be begging for that to put in like a higher low. You'd be desperate for it to do it. You'd be living on a prayer, and it wouldn't, and go down and be a lower low, and then it perhaps go on then far as well, as even further. Is this any good to you? I don't know what I'm doing here, right? Am I doing good to you? Probably not really. Like, this is the low. If you're going to say it was, no, let's talk about this move here. That's not good. Retrace on it takes you back down at the 1272, down to $2.10 as well. Like, they both come in at exactly the same place together, as well as the chance of that giving you like a better potential harmonic, and then maybe a good entry too down there, like for a long, like an actual good entry there at $2.10 10 cents, $10.16, something like that. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking about that. So I hope that's of some help. What else did I do? Did I just start on saying it looked like shit at the minute on the weekly time frame? It looks like it's always been down. If there is a move on this, I wouldn't take it too far. I wouldn't expect it to go very far anyway. It's been around since 2019. Maybe even it's an extension on that to the 1712. You know, it doesn't look good. There's a couple of confluent areas on the Fibonacci's if you draw it in here around 150, 147. So I don't know. Well, I wasn't sure what it was when I was looking at it, what attracted you to it, D. But that's what I'm thinking about it. Like the 50 period isn't on the weekly. Where does the 50 period show up on this thing then? Some point this will get a move back here. But before that, it has to conquer a 200 period moving average. Though the percentage moves in that are massive, I don't think this is the entry for it. So if it is, you haven't missed much because of the fact that that wick was just so brutal and awful. If we're talking about long in it. Anyway, that's that. I think that is that now. I think that's something on it anyway, hopefully. Thanks to HGEN. Have I got down the charts already? I should have. Humagen. Hey, here we are. Humagen, how you doing? Bit of a brutal gap. You might have expected that. 50 period, 200 period. Yeah. Yeah. This, like the... Which way is it that the charts go over here? Does it, where does it not look unusual if I, because the charts are to my, this way, which is that, so I look this way. Yeah, right. This is it. Is it? Am I looking across the charts for you guys? I don't know. Hey, these things are reporting, I'm told. Right, you're below this support. You opened below this support, Rush. Fucking. So you look at this and you'd be like, yeah, sure, it's never been this low in the RSI before on the daily. It's a bargain. Yeah, it's a bargain. And you'd be, and I'd tell you, no, that's dangerous. Your DMI says that there's plenty left to go on this thing in terms of the ADX. Like it itself is not at its previous all-time highs on its thrust to the top side. So, you know, it's not even at its most extreme. Sure, your DI minus is high, but not like, you know, not out of this world high. It can just turn around here and go start bound back up again. And if it does that here, that's in like soul-crushingly strong territory. So that's fucked there. And despite the fact that it's had a bounce on the RSI here on this daily time frame, it's still below its own moving average. And it's not really made it back, even back into the get fucking you're fucked zone. It's so shit. There's this like horrible gap, like this horrible gap. Interestingly, and perhaps just ironically, at the top of its previous gap. So there you have your little island here, your little island in the sun. And that reminds me of that song that I should put on, but it'll ruin it and it'll get copyright done in and that. I can't play it. By Weezer. There he is in the chat too. Yeah, so this is your little island in the sun where you probably go mental if you've long this, right? Because you're going to get crushed likely. There might be some, you know, you've had a death cross here, like a real one now. I've had a number of them, but like this one's come after this period of consolidation, right? Now, this is distribution. It's got lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. There's definitely the supply side in control here. you would have, like, what you want to see on these sort of things is like at least 1, 2, or 3 perhaps obvious demand lines on the bottom. This one's like, you know, it's you have to go back in time, which is fine, but it's here and you've opened below it, right? That's what you've opened below that for that whole formation. So brutal. Your next horizontal support is in around here, which is definitely going to hit, right? And then you've got next one's 154. The fuck anyway. It's going to do something like this on you, on everybody, isn't it? It filled that gap. Like, there you go. Close enough is near enough, and near enough is good enough for me, and that's good enough for a lot of people. That gap's filled there. It's definitely like the whole range covered again on that high. It's like, no, we're getting further than that. You've got your death cross here at this part of the formation. After all of that negativity, you've gone through your central line, your RSI. Price has dropped completely out of the formation. It's not hit a horizontal level of support other than on the way back up, testing it. It's now resistance. It's going to drop down at least to test $3.92 sort of area, and likely goes to like, it loses another 50% after that, and then potentially it goes down again at 70. Hello, do you want to... so like this is like what this probably does. Go back up a time frame. Is this like enough of a reason? Has it had enough of a reason? No, that's not enough of a reason. So what if it was lower there? Like, don't give a flying fuck. That's definitely out of the question. Conclude that. This is when it's real. This is not divergent. This is why has this gone up? That crossing your momentum said downtrended finished. Fair enough, right? So it had maybe. Obviously, then that was confirmed later and around here. Your low recovery, and then your downtrend was over. Okay. You got up and you covered that range back to the previous bottom of that gap. Filled in that one previously. Okay, this is shit. Comes down, breaks out, that's still shit. Right, the measured move on that is much more. Should it take it now? Which it, you know, this is very difficult on a log chart. It won't work that, right? So let's just not do it on a log chart. And still see how it takes you to fucking minus something. If this is some sort of descending triangle that takes a while to play out, and even if it does bounce up again to like $15, and that the big move on this, that'll be a huge percentage move. Big move on this, likely something that comes in at around minus $10. No. Well, that won't happen, but it does look like it's going to its previous lows. It's going to test in and around these areas. Your momentum's picking up again at the downside. You've not reached the full extent of it on the longer, like, you know, so even if it does look terrible on daily, it's got plenty left to go in the higher time frames. And on the daily, like, you might think there, oh, it's overextended and it's a gap and yeah. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's all true, but actually, no, this is awful. And then is the gap that are interesting people on HGEN, or is it because of the volatility and the size of the move? What's the after hours actually say about this? None. Okay. Well, nobody wants this anyway. It's a question of taking. You'll only be interested in this for sneaky things. You get your 50 period moving average at $12. Right, I would not try and hold on to something that I was taking a total YOLO trade on this thing. If you got it to 12, get the fuck out of that, right? That's exactly what millions of other people will do. They'll get the fuck out of that if they were in it. I say millions, but there won't be millions of them. Your 200 period above that, if somehow by the gift of God you manage to make it there at $16, you get the shit and hell out of it again. And that is back probably meeting that supply line, which has been dominating price action since it got up here, and we're likely the same, you know, like, anyway, whatever. Yeah, you've got something like that there. If you do come up to the top side of it, it's much more likely that it doesn't happen for ages yet, and it's over here. And before there's so much more pain to come, and like testing these areas. This is its previous lows, but that doesn't mean that's the end. And there can be another 50% off the price and destroy people's accounts. So, you know, be very, very careful with this sort of thing. I'd stay away from it. There's your lower levels. If it does go up, it's there, but I'd really actually stay away from it. HGEN, that's that one. Not enough for that. CEI. CEI. It's in the game to say no, it's not. There we are. Fucking Ellie, you got your options on your energy minerals. If so, congratulations. Yeah, so congratulations. Yep, that's a good move. Let's just put this in some context, shall we? Here we go. So, somebody bought this. Have they still got it? Well, possibly, right? Possibly. Will it fill the gap? 3 days. Well, the volume's significant on this now. Your RSI, it's only ever been traded this when it's in here. Tradespotting, good evening, my lord. Thank you very much to Dude Intent. How you looking for Sava, yeah? It made the move exactly like you said it would. I was very impressed. Well, thank you very much to Dude Intent. If you'd like to support these efforts, there are so very many ways you can do it, and it's all appreciated. Though I don't know if I'll be able to look at Sava, despite that fantastic soothsaying ability of mine, because I'm wrecked. Electro Boy, no can do. I traded my soul to the devil. Oh, Sarah. Well, that's great. I heard the devil's a great person to trade your soul to. Who doesn't ask for his debts back until everything's completely meaningless. At which point, fair enough. Right? No other people like that. Myself, what I was thinking about, I was trying to do TA, it was on something, and something went bing, and I wanted to know what the bing was. What was it, Jimmy? What was your bing there? Does it come with a bong, or do you do that yourself? It must have been PayPal or OneUp-Coin, because I don't see it here. Don't I see it? See, I don't know if you can see it here, right? But I've got this other thing, right? This is this thermal printer. It's going to print out the alerts. When Joe Blob, which he was, where are you, Joe Blob? Are you in chat? Joe. Did you get anywhere, Joe? How did you get anywhere with it? Rocky, did you speak to Joe? He's doing this, helping us with this. It's going to print out, so any alert that gets sent in from anywhere, off of Patreon, PayPal, OneUp-Coin, which is better because it's got no fees, and YouTube take a hefty one. Will get printed out straight away on that, and I'll have it right in front of me. We'll read it, and that's great. And also, I've got a Motorola T900, right? This is the piece, this is the best, right? In pager technology, personal pager technology, it did not get better than the Motorola T900. Didn't. I've got it flip up screen, all perfect, working order, beautiful condition, no scratches, nothing, getting shipped to me. Oh yeah. And when it does, it's going to be over there, and it's going to have a little dedicated fucking GoPro camera to it that's always looking at the pager, and you'll be able to page me TA requests, not just when I'm live on YouTube. Oh geez, look at the state of my heat, which I shouldn't be when I look like this. What, have you got no shame, Jimmy? But all day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, bar those ones where I'm sleeping or can't be bothered, you'll be able to page me. Page, right? You can page people. Fucking amazing. You can page me. It's amazing. And I'll respond. You page me the ticker, the time frame, and your Twitter username, and I'll at your Twitter username with that chart. What you say? You said CEI 4 hour at whatever, right? Then adds at that whatever with that chart and the TA on that 4 hours. Boom, boom, bing bong, bing bong, boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. Damn, it's a good idea, innit? And that's what we're doing. Bringing back all of these things, and I'll explain why we're bringing back these kind of thermal printers, these kind of page me anytime top of the range technology from the 1990s. As you've no doubt seen, the spinning wheel, which is analog, right? It actually spins on the alerts when you go do it on Friday. Trade sloshing with Friday, so good. And Banana Freeze, right? The innovation in Banana Freeze, www.bananafreeze.com. Unbelievable innovation going on around here. And that, you'll see Buddy Cam as well. Buddy Cam, which is to temporarily, is because they don't have lots of different cameras to do all these different things, has joined with Banana Cam. And now Buddy Cam lives in. Buddy is hanging out inside Banana Freeze, as you can see there. That's Buddy's green, so it's very difficult to see, but that's who it is. Get back over here, Jar. Why are you over there? There's the Banana Freeze. Why is the Jar not next to it? Come on, Jar. Come on, Bear. Jar, not Bear. Fridge, you can go back. Oh, that's me. Shit, this was supposed to be a quick episode. Yeah, just sit in the fridge. I know you're not in the right place. No, we'll move Banana Freeze back to the right place. Yeah, it's okay. It's all back to normal now. Whew, thank goodness. Anonymous. There it is. Anonymous. True Soul, D. Harker, True Soul, White Samurai. Thank you very much. Thank you. Corey! What happened? Where's Corey? Banana Freeze, Unreasonable Innovation. It's totally base of innovation around here. Crazy. And no, none of these constraints by monopolies that lead to the death of progress. Instead, we're not held back by the need to make things profitable. As such, this time is given freely. That's the truth. Corey Spitting, what are you saying? Corey Spitting. Yo, boom, boom. Jimmy, you demand, says Wes Prater. Thank you very much, Wes. Thank you very much. Thanks. I'll be here all week, says Corey Bing Bong. You better be, Corey. You better be. And maybe on Friday, Corey, you see, I really like Corey's name, but maybe on Friday we chop off Corey's head. Maybe. I'll make that decision when the time comes. There are a number of candidates. You can actually page Jamie from the future on his pager. Exactly. You'll be able to page me from the future. Where I've arrived in 1997. You can page me. And I'll tell you all the shit that's coming up in your future. Because despite the fact that this is something I add to in front of your eyes, the book of record, it actually goes way beyond any date you might expect to find in a book like this. Certainly one that was available to you every day without exception from now until life-changing wealth. You'd be like, what, really? I'd be like, yeah, definitely. No bother, mate. So a good one, right? Thanks, Corey. Keep spitting. Slay anyone that gets in your way. Tradespotting, I'm really curious if you could elaborate on SPY and how, if it runs with against the meme stocks. Please, my lord. Chris, I'm too tired to do the whole SPY to walk through. Nope, Chris, I'm going to be unreasonable and say we can cover that on Friday. Add that to Friday. SPY relation to meme stocks. Oh God, I'm not calling them that. GME, AMC stock. Fuck it. That's what it is. My head is getting more wrinkly. Might be a good sacrifice. Might be, Corey. Oh. You're not allowed to want it too much. Where's Dan, for example? I mean, he wanted it yesterday. We whapped off his head and ain't no seen head nor tail of him since. Though I did see somebody running past with his head on at one stage. I haven't seen a word of it. I haven't seen a mouse. He's quiet as a wee church mouse, isn't he? Feeling so #blessed to have been an early tribute sacrifice. Dead boy chickmunk. Darn right. #39. Tradespotting request for the Bing Bong sweatpants. What about them, Katie Babes? Well, you can go and buy some if you like. Request. I have to fix the camera angle because it's making me lean down like this. Hi. When actually, that's awful. Tradespotting, Bing Bong rompers. What's the rompers? Banana Freeze. I could Google it. You could just tell me though. And my head is getting more wrinkly. Yeah, okay, we covered all that. We're getting into the next to CEI, and we've got to hurry up because then we've got that 1, 2, 3, 4, fucking 5 things left. I need to start earlier on in the day, don't I? Yes, looks like it. Back to the charts. Now, why am I over here looking like this? I don't like that. Go over here. I don't like any of this. You go over here. You can stay there. I'm going over here. Nope, that's not me. That's the moon. I'm over here. I may be in the way of things, but I don't care. Right? Okay, this is this chart. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. There's so much we're seeing on this chart. This is beautiful. Really, really interesting. Seeing a lot here. Fantastic. Yum, yum, yum. Really good. Your volume's all you're really getting here. This obviously you can see it started and it was awful. Put it on log, get more of a picture of what's happening. It's like an orderly evacuation. Get the fuck out of my boat. Get off my boat. Get off it. I don't want to. Well, it's going down anyway. Fuck it. And then everyone did. And then here your boat reached you at the bottom of the ocean. Once, twice, 3 times. Increasingly higher lows on your RSI. You had a positive change on your DMI. You also had a flash, though, in terms of volatility just before the cross. Where was that? Yeah. At your 50 period. So, top side, does it have more to run on this? The DI plus is increasing. The ADX is just reaching 38. If it goes beyond there, it does, and it's going to the 200, which is at. Is it really going all the way up there? Like, is it really fucking? Because like that would be a bit mental. That would be a bit mental. $12.50. $12.50. It's only at $3.42 close and $3.73 post market. But the volume suggests it's going to keep going. It's broken its horizontal, so that's good news. It's already gone fuck you and getting out of here in terms of RSI. DMI and lower time frames got a bit to go. RSI says probably doesn't. And really have closed into that within this like we could draw it down from its previous high and say what is that 50% and then what is that 786, something like it. There's your low. Yeah, so it's a 50% retrace on that. From that breakdown point, what is that? It's not even really above your. Not even at your 786, but it may well get there. That would really trick people tomorrow or in post-market prices. Because if it didn't get beyond that in its first thrust, then it won't get beyond it and it won't get near here. Because it is one of those kind of moves. It should accumulate here, but that's just above the 236. It's not important that either. Not after the move down it's had. What one did we not want on this anymore? Probably both of them. Yes, so it's got up to your 618. It's because to push above that, it's asking a lot. It's already done the move. You've already, like anyone in this has had the trade, right? Your first take profit zone. A lot of people did take profit. This volume here, despite it being a green candle, that will involve a lot of people taking profit that were in this trade earlier, perhaps as it crossed the 50 period, and that because that's your first level looking left over this Fibonacci. As well, you've got your golden pocket and your horizontal. Above that, you've got another horizontal and another important level in the Fibonacci, and where you likely stop should you get up there. But 786, which would be natural retrace point, and then continue the trend onwards. That trend being down to less than $1. But a top side here, if it does make the full move, which it could well be still in the process of doing, though I don't think so, because it is held below the 50%, isn't it? Is it the 50? Where's your 0? This is the other Fibonacci. Let's do it here. That's your low. It's your 382. It's not even made it above 382. 50% is at the top level here, though. Where's your 12.8 comes in at $12.8 in price. It doesn't come in at, that's where it is. And then your 200 period moving average, which will come in in there. Yeah, so holding it above $12.50 is very, very silly. There would be another trade to take should it open and close above the 200 period moving average where it tested the golden pocket, and that might be where it goes to on a huge wick in that. But how would you get into that trade and get out of it and manage it? It'd be impossible. Would this be the place to enter it? No, it wouldn't be. It might be a short term, lower time frame trade. Let's see it actually, because I'm on way too high time frames here. Daily, get your positive cross coming in here. That'll be tested. This is why your volatility on that other time frame will likely come through, and you'll go back down and test that, whatever it was, the 50 period below the 200, and it was that even this asset we were looking at the time. You've got to cross here into the really strong fine, and you've still got that volume cool, and you're in your overbought. That all looks good. Accumulated here, that's very positive. This could continue. It's just that's going to be tested, isn't it? It's a golden cross. Then 12 hours, you've had it already. It had not a real test. Had this, if it's not in any way definable as a high, but it's lower on your RSI and it's similar on DMI on across that indicator actually, and then forever and ever scrolling forever, Adams, fuck you. Right, so likely you'll have represented similar weakness in this move on your MACD if you see it on your RSI and on your DMI, which is why I don't actually fucking even need it. Go fuck yourself, MACD. Right, so what we're looking at here, CEI. Yeah, so maybe I would want that MACD back down to smaller time frames. 4 hour, that's your positive cross. You've been caught by your 50. You've got a touch of divergence. And the look back period, yeah, and you're both in oversold and you're beyond it, and this is like a perfect test. Here's your perfect divergence, and you've also got it across on your DMI, and that's likely this move is, and most of it has already been done. Hourly time frame, you've still got your 50, and it all looks fine. It all looks great, right? It looks great. It looks great. It looks wonderful. Definitely not buy. Unless your 236, you went through it and didn't test it, and your 200 period's out there at the minute. It's like, there's your buy. There's your buy. It's at 180, and that's if you're absolutely desperate to buy this. I don't think you are. I think what you should do is wait till this get down, test its previous lows at 30 cents, and then think about buying it. And then you get a really healthy percentage move, shitloads on table percentage-wise, and not having to take the same massive risk that it might do what it's always done and continue to completely and utterly get shafted everywhere it's gone forever. And ever, and ever, and ever, and ever. CEI. That's what we were supposed to look at. If it was a crypto, then I've done it wrong, but that's that. I wouldn't trade that at the current levels, and I think I gave you levels below and above where you'd look to. So that's that one. Then we're going to look at the NIPS, which should already be on the here. I definitely have put it in before. Nope, no, obviously. Here we are. It's NIPS. Here we are. Okay, so you're down 1.4% on today. Rolled over a little bit. You had your RSI screaming at you for a while. Weekly, similar. Big move off the back of that one, though. Pardon me. So this is a very significant area, horizontal support and resistance for it from its previous move where it broke out of, you could see it touched at 1, 2, 3 and then 4 through it, and then it had this retest. And then it had this retest again. Subsequent to that, went in, put in a lower high. Then a series of lower highs through it, none of which were divergent. The supply side were in control of that the whole time. Moving average cross, you live below the 50. Come back on the reaction, horizontal support, got close to that 50. Do you keep going? Not according to the last couple of weeks. That was a doji after a bearish wick. Also limited this body close to like shithole retrace like below 50% of this move, so not good. 3-day negative. No strength in it, but it's just gone negative again. This has failed to get out of the bearish control zone. That's very bad. The fact that it's above its moving average at that stage means shithole. Today, good, but it's like not good enough, and it likes to live down here, and it's failed to even get close to the center line properly. And then you got the same picture of flux on your DMI, but it's not good. Daily time frame, again, positive. The slope is on the week, like to the downside. It's in the ascendancy. You've got the RSI represents it's bad news. Lost the center line, lost your own moving average. You're now touching like actually below horizontal levels you would have hoped to be support or not. This test of this support is so far failing. If you were to draw that another Fibonacci on it and say like there's your 236 and that blah blah blah, it likely goes back to it, or your 886 on the other side likely goes all the way back there. And that isn't even a golden point. Maybe that wick was, but that's about it. And then 4 hours. Let's see a more clear picture, perhaps. So you went above your 400, your 50 period moving average, touched your 200 and came back and you settled on it and continuing the downtrend likely with it as support and people buying it. Why? Here's the volume. It's shuffled through here. That was something. Same people. What is this? That's gonna fail. You've already had a sell signal on this. It's like not done its move yet. Yep, still fucked and it's gonna keep getting fucked. Why are we looking at that? Bing, was it a joke? It's quite a good one. Nips, not looking so hot right now. Unusual. Normally I'd be a fan. FAMI, talking about fans and FAMIs. You like a good FAMI around here? Here you are. Add you to the list. Why were you not there already? Stab myself. Well, this is nice. This is what we're talking about. Still got a bit to go to fill that gap. So close enough is near enough. This is not close enough. 0.37 and the gap closed at 0.4. That's too big a percentage. There's more to go. Will it do it? Well, there was this move within it. RSI here. It's not divergent, is it? Less people to get here, huh? Well, less trades. Golden pocket there, close enough is near enough on that front. Now you're below 0.5. A doji there, that was I suppose potentially a bullish wick followed up with another doji. It's like can't get higher, we can't do it guys. I know we want to fill the gap, but nobody's taking us here. Not enough people willing to buy it at 3.4 because they know it's only going to 3.8, 0.38 and that's not enough for them. So You're looking for a re-entry at 2.9, repeating, or 3, not 0.3. That likely gets you some short-term move, though I wouldn't expect it to take you up much, and then you die. That would ruin that trade. Your horizontal level at 3 is important to it for a long time. If it gets below there again, I wouldn't have much positive to say about this thing. Just the lack of liquidity relatively, it didn't trade that much, so this volume was going to take it a big chunk because there's not much of this on the books, and then it makes up to the golden pocket fairly rapidly. On the 50-minute time frame, yeah, on the 4 hour it looks crazy there, yeah. Above that, above a 200, it wicks above a 50, but didn't. Ah, it's closed above it too. Still below the 50% retrace. Golden pocket at the 200, and the top of that gap being closed there suggests the top side of this is at 0.41. I wouldn't personally hold it above 3.86, and I'd expect the 200 period moving average to be in and around that area on the 4 hour time frame should prices get there. But I also wouldn't trade this like on the top side. It's only made a 50% retrace, despite how impressive it looks on the linear chart and how excited people would be trading it that have only been trading a while. It's done most of the move. You know, the entries were here or alternatively here. You might have seen that coming when you saw this sideways obvious and downwards here. You might have thought, yeah, there's a touch and it's broken through its previous horizontal. You might have aimed for this 2.9, followed it with a stop. It hasn't done any significant retrace, so it won't be stopping people out yet. But should it fail anywhere in this 50 period moving average and then the 382, you're aiming for a test of the 236. That might be the best place to get this should it continue to try upside targets. But I don't know why it would. You know, it looks like it doesn't. So we'll see about that. But it doesn't look fantastic. That's that time frame. What good did we do others? I'm going through them all quickly now. I'm forgetting what's what. There is this gap above it. Yeah, we talked about that. The 200 period. This is this level. This is the gap above it. 0.8. That's why people are excited. That's why I was sort of line on when I see it at the start. Well, 1272 extension from here. We've got what sort of pattern would take you there? Maybe. Depending how you draw that out there, maybe there is a harmonic and a potential move off the back of that. Let me see. Maybe. Nah. Would have expected it to go further. I don't think so. Likely this fails and doesn't make it above the 50 period. I know there is the gap here. It's failed to close it once on the 3-day or whatever that is, 2-day. May try it again higher, but I don't think so. I think that likely it comes back down. These are the areas you'd be looking at for a buy, and that's if it's like, you know, maybe even a tiny touch higher than that. And that would be where I'd get interested in it. In terms of risk, you've still got a big chunk on the table. In terms of reward, though, it's slightly more. Entering it at the minute, it likely gets your fingers burned. Down and check it on those lower time frames. As I see, you're above the 200 period. Yes, great and all. But like, that's an hourly time frame. Okay, fair enough, right? But that's a doji candle there, so that's not great. You're above the 200, but you're just going to drop below that, and then it's a question of testing this horizontal or the one below. That's just what's going to happen, isn't it? It's just what's going to happen. Unless something crazy is going on. And that as I get a really itchy head all of a second. Sorry, I'm flying through these now. AHT. AHT, Jamie. down 4.17%. Oh, look at that. It's come in. It's tested this horizontal. It's likely what we said would happen, right? Otherwise, why would it be there? It's also tested in this 200 period moving average, which we probably thought would get there when the price got there. Below the 50, that's normal. You've got it. It's got a positive slope on it. Price action likely does recover above 1559 in the long, not too distant future. Come down, failed at the center line here. We did speculate that it would work when you turn around here at the bottom of the bullish control zone, bearish control zone. Good. Positive would be the opposite of what we've seen there. Yeah, well, you'd expect that, but you're above your low levels of some resistance. This is very good. High or low, very much, if it gets caught at this 200 again, which is done for a while. Another inverted head and shoulder on this thing to take it up another chunk, possibly. It's not really, that wouldn't be appropriate at this end of this trend. Not necessarily, it would be something else. You had that move, that was potential. Like, you still got some more on that. This is this, oops. Trade, Jill, I've got your entry on that now. The second entry for the people who wanted it, I think. There's your move up. Here's your next entry at the 14.95. That's our area. Post market, you're slightly lower. That was the next potential entry for this to go on an uptrend. So you'll maybe have got into it. Then the next levels you're looking at horizontal, looking left, is at 1750. You've got close to it before 1714, whatever that was. Yeah, you got close to it, and likely you've got a further extension on that move. Your horizontal's looking like where your breakdown's up at $18 and 50 cents. The 236 on the Fibonacci that you're looking at really right now is up at 1939, and then there's a gap on the top side of this 618, which is where you'd get to if you open and close above this 236 on a 4-hour time frame. If you get above 1939 open close open, then you'll go to the 618 here, and that's up at $38. You close the gap, and that's an amazing trade to take. And maybe it's from 13 to 19, but there's more chocolate in your biscuit entering at the right area down here. It's just where do you manage your risk? And it's much easier with this being close to these areas than it is at the top side of here, and getting excited about it when it's near the top of the formation, which is when people will get excited about it and be trying to be talking, oh, excited, and actually the area was down here is the areas to be buying it. Anyway, it doesn't make it there. 2414, 2618. These things, these horizontals in between times $22, they'd all be interesting when you get there. But before that, you're looking at this 236 at 1939. That's the top side, and that's if positive news comes for this. It depends how that goes. On the daily time frame, you can see you made it above 50 period, tested a horizontal support, and now you're back at another. That's not bad. You know, this trend that you broke out of, perhaps this downward sloping channel / wedge, broke out of it relatively soon, so to come back and test it twice is natural. There's your breakout measurement. I suspect is this one, is it? Top to the bottom, broke out of it here. You know, you're still looking at a 1618 move of this Fibonacci from price action within its previous low to high, which is still within that range. And this is the measured move from the previous formation, which is only really just tested. And these are the horizontals it needed to go through to get to the top side, and to test one and come back to another, perfectly natural. So I still expect this to go up and test that area around 1939. And perhaps from here to there is that trade. It's a huge chunk percentage wise. And it might mean that you can then, should it break this area, this at 1750, move a stop up just below this wick high, maybe these body highs, depending on your propensity for risk. And all of which will be profit anyway if your entry's in and around here. Managing it at that point afterwards with upper targets and having already got that much in the bank, that'd be nice, right? That would be a good trade, a good way to trade that. If you've already gotten it from even lower levels, congratulations. And that's why there's a bigger trade drawn on there. So that's the HT. Looks good. There is an entry at the minute, but you have to be not afraid of buying things that are very, very dodgy, which means you need a good stop loss. The minute you might be thinking that's at 14.14, truth is it could come back down to $12.61, so you bear that in mind. Maybe you want to do position management, but there's a good chance on that. It does look potentially quite good. And what's the next one? Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? Yo, trades. Still my girl. I didn't. You're a freaking moron. She didn't want anything to do any longer, right? You got your 582s in it. You got that, but you're close enough. Is near enough. You've got your 50 period moving average coming to that. Good night, goodbye, Romeo. And you've got your cross there. That was pretty brutal on the daily. You had your test of it just as before it happened. You tried to get above your 50. Subsequently, that is failure, right? That's what we call failure. And then let's look at this on the weekly and see a bigger picture of what's going on. Well, that's also like, why is she going to be interested in you, Romeo, when you look like that, mate? It's not happening, right? It's not happening, Romeo. Get yourself home, sort yourself out, because it's not happening. Doesn't matter what else you do when you look like that. Yeah, higher lows, lower lows though, trend awful. Plenty of room still to drop below you percentage-wise. Terrible amounts, obviously, as there always is. Then you've got, you know, it's like this downtrend is winning. Winning. This one is like recovered above the oversold of the weekly. Sound. Blue moving average. 3-day, right, you maybe got out of it, rescued it, but it's below this horizontal and you've got that gap essentially filled. 3-day 50 period moving average looks like if we did get anywhere to get up there, and it's not going to, because your horizontal 745, like this fucking miles away, but it's not getting there. 50 period before that, like the prices will have to fight this out, that 50 period. This is shit. They're going to have to fight that out, and it's not going to happen up here. It's going to happen down here or lower. So that looks shit. Then daily time frame. Yeah, still below that 50. You've got it close enough. There's near enough there. It's real obvious. Sure, maybe it does go up later, and then the top side of that gap proves to be resistance for later price moves. Might well do. 200 period's got a negative slope on it again, despite those thrusts up throughout this downtrend, and you below your 50. It's not great. Though the move may have gone as far as going to. Let's see. Let's suck it and see. Hi, Romeo. It went down, not to your, it went to your 1414, hovering around there. Okay. Top side 1272, 50 period there. It's not going to get back above there. Good night. And it's going to come down. Might go down to 355. That's where you'd look for their next entry on this thing. If that doesn't hold, well, it's going down to all the ones. And doesn't it sound good, yeah? Like I drive my red Romeo 111 around town. Hey, I got this at 111. But I don't know why this is so fucked, but it is. And then below your center line here, right? If this, no, it's not. If I'm going to talk about crazy nonsense, no, fucked. Yeah, confirmation. Volume says we got the hell out of Dodge here. And then even the best will's intention in the world couldn't get it higher at this point. So when it did here, anyone who was still in it jumping out, even if they were in a loss, boom. Don't know what happened here, but this looks dodgy in retrospect, you know. Although it would have been an easy enough thing to trade, the reasons for it, when you look back here, what were they? So yeah, overhead, you're not got very far here. $5 and change, and then the next move above it, $7 and that, whatever, and that is a big move. You got your 200 period, your horizontals here on these time frames as well coming in there. It's not going to get there. You got your 1 hour. It's had its move. It was divergent. It looks crap. You've got this test of these moving averages. It's now failing them. It's going to keep failing them as it always has done. This thing looks crap. Continues to look crap. Will look crap for a long time. And in the very small short-term time frames, also looks absolutely crap. So that's that. That's fantastic. Covered all of those. And I'm getting that. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. My head is going to scratch my head off and then fall and sleep in my chair feelings. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in. We covered AMC and GME quite comprehensively at the start. We did a good job on that. Consider it the Busy Apes series covered up front, and while the markets were open, it was good. Then we went through a series of things that people asked for, as we always do, and we'll happily do again tomorrow, Thursday, on Tradespotting Thursdays. What are they called on Thursdays? I can't remember, but we'll have other things set up. We've got other things arriving. It'll be better and better, as it always is, because everything goes back into improving this show and making it more entertaining and fun. And hopefully, if you've been tuning in to Rocky Show, you'll have been seeing the start of Ticker Bingo. It's getting started and it's going to be epic. So tune in for Rocky Show tomorrow, youtube.com/Rocky Outcrop. And make sure you get your tickers on those bingo balls. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have not seen the newest fun in YouTube training channels. It's on Rocky's, and he's going to be the best fun stream in the fucking world. Yoppo! Woohoo! Rocky Outcrop, the fucking legend. Love him. Love you guys. Thank you very much. Thank him. It's all because of him. Thank him. Anything that you do for me means twice as much if you do it for him. Love yous. Thanks you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye. Bye now. Bye. 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 Bye, everybody. Good night. Thanks for now. Bye now. You all got a chance to say bye to each other. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye now.